blast off. Hello, and welcome to Red Pride Stadium on the campus of Plainfield High School. My name is Lex Zorn, and I'll be bringing you all the action as your Plainfield Quakers challenge the Decatur Central Hawks in the Sectional 13 championship game of the Indiana High School football playoffs. Well, last week your Quakers opened the playoffs with a 63-8 win over the Anderson Indians. Anderson is a long-struggling program that was particularly bad this year, and Plainfield was very businesslike, putting the game away early. They had only 13 offensive plays, including a kneel down to end the first half, but they scored touchdowns on 7 of those plays, and also scored a touchdown on an interception and another one on a kickoff return. Because they led 49-8 at the half, more than the 35-point margin of lead required for a running clock, the entire second half was played with a running clock. The win improved the Quakers to 9-1, giving them 9 wins in the season for the first time in 16 years. Because of the big early lead, Plainfield rested its starters for much of the game, which is particularly important because tonight's opponent is much tougher. Of course, I'm talking about their biggest rival, the Decatur Central Hawks, who entered the game at 7-2 and gave Plainfield its only loss of the season, 42-21, back in Week 6. Furthermore, the Hawks have beaten the Quakers in 15 of their last 17 meetings, including 4 of 5 in the playoffs. But but Plainfield has continually improved since then, and it's just one notch behind Decatur Central in all 3 polls, number 4 versus number 5. And as these are the 2 highest-ranked teams on the south side of the bracket, there's a good chance that the winner of this game is going all the way to the state championship game. Now, so far this season, Plainfield has rushed 379 times and passed 80 times, a ratio of 4.7 to 1. Sophomore quarterback Bryce Sabank has mostly been a very conservative and efficient game manager. He's completed 49 of 77 passes, 63.6%, for 538 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. His leading receiver is sophomore Ethan Ellis with 22 receptions for 283 yards and 2 touchdowns, followed by junior Ryan Garber with 9 receptions for 114 yards and 1 touchdown. The Quakers do most of their damage on the ground, and they do a lot of it, led by junior Luke Starnes with 181 rushes for 1,489 yards and 19 touchdowns, while the other lead actor, Weston Wayrich, a senior, has 145 rushes for 862 yards and 18 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Decatur Central has rushed 242 times and passed 173 times, a ratio of 1.4 to 1. Superstar junior quarterback and 3-year starter Bo Polston has completed 111 of 167 passes, 66.5%, for 1,464 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. His leading receiver is junior Kashmir Hicks with 38 receptions for 672 yards and 10 touchdowns, followed by junior Carson Eisen with 25 receptions for 258 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Hawks are also very strong on the ground, led by junior Pharrell Carter with 46 rushes for 492 yards and 6 touchdowns, followed by senior Napo Dodo with 45 rushes for 320 yards and 3 touchdowns, and sophomore Hunter Harvey with 34 rushes for 255 yards and 2 touchdowns, while quarterback Bo Polston is also very effective on the ground with 60 rushes for 238 yards and 4 touchdowns. Head coach for Plainfield is Tyler Bless, who's 15-5 in his second season with the Quakers. Head coach for Decatur Central is Kyle Enright, who's 77-27 in his 9th season with the Hawks. He's gotten Decatur Central to the Class 5A state championship game in 2018 and last year. Well, at this time, we'll take a short pause for a few words from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the opening kickoff. Plainfield Decatur Central, arch rivals for the sectional championship, coming at you live next. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to recognize them, and we hope you will support them. They are Remax Centerstone, Julia Berberich, Ganell Financial, Crone Family Construction, My IT Indy, Ryan Grimes, I-70 Record Service and Garage, and at that we will pause for the national anthem. Well, thank you to Plainfield for that lovely rendition of the national anthem. And now let's go back to the ads here. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to recognize them and we hope you will support them. They are Remax Centerstone, Julia Berberich, Ganell Financial, Crone Family Construction, by IT Indy Ryan Grimes, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crest Point Real Estate, Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellis and Associates. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Plainfield, we're just a few minutes away from kickoff. We have 7:27 on the pregame clock. We have a fairly pleasant evening, considering that this is November the 8th. The temperature right now in Plainfield is 52 degrees, down from a high of 63 today, so above average for this time of year. And we've got a pretty full crowd that's getting fuller. There's still a steady stream of cars filing in. A lot of people in the filing room on the way to the refreshment stands or the restrooms are trying to find a seat. So I think this is going to be pretty close to a packed house by the time we're through. I think we have about 2,500 fans here on the Plainfield side of the field, and then across the field in the visiting bleachers and standing room, we have about 500 Decatur Central fans. Of course, you always see a lot of road fans in this rivalry because these two schools are separated by only 8 miles. Decatur Central, located in southwest Indianapolis, and these two teams, inaugural members of the Decatur Central. These two teams are inaugural members of the Mid-State Conference, and in fact, Plainfield, one of 3 lifelong members of the conference, along with Mooresville and Greenwood. Decatur Central did leave the conference for several years before returning, I believe in 2006, renewing this rivalry. And when Plainfield beat Decatur Central, the first time I ever commentated these two teams against each other 12 years ago, that even the series of 25 apiece. However, then Decatur Central went on a mammoth 13-game winning streak over the Quakers, all 9 regular season games from 2013 to 2021, and then 4 playoff games. Plainfield answered that streak with 2 big wins in 2022, both here at Plainfield, first in the regular season, a 34-32 overtime thriller, and then an even more thrilling game for the sectional championship. Plainfield won 13-10, winning the game on a 19-yard touchdown pass from Hunter Newell to Noah Hessing with 1.3 seconds to go, causing me to lose pretty well my voice and my mind. That was, my broadcast partner that night, Rob Kendall, actually called that play, which is probably for the best because I would have been probably too inarticulate because I was so hysterical. Because I had pretty well conceded the game, and I thought, Coach Brian Woodard, who was in his farewell season, was going to retire from head coaching without, that elusive sectional championship. But he got it in spectacular fashion after losing six sectional championship games in his career. But anyway, now with 4:32 to go, let's take a look at what the other Hendricks County teams that are still left are up to. Last week, 2 Hendricks County teams were eliminated by other Hendricks County teams in Class 6A. 4th-ranked Brownsburg had a tougher time than expected, but hung on for a 21-13 win over Avon after beating the Orioles 45-15 during the regular season. So Avon cut the margin of loss from 30 to 8. Or the Orioles into the season at 3-7, their best record in 4 years. Meanwhile, tonight Brownsburg should get a sectional championship win tonight as they visit 5-5 Ben Davis on the west side of Indianapolis. Then in Class 3A, Cascade's perfect season came to an end after a school best 10-1 start after never previously starting better than 4-0. Cascade lost 37-36 to Tri-West. The Bruins overcoming that 2-5 start. The 2-4 start. Now they've won 5 in a row. Tonight they go up to Noblesville to play for a sectional championship at Guerin Catholic. Also in the Mid-State Conference, a few other items of note. Perry Meridian won their playoff opener last week, beating neighborly rival Southport 42-12. That brought the Falcons to 5-5, giving them 5 wins in a season for the first time in 9 years. Tonight, however, they're likely to be eliminated as they play Warren Central, who's fifth ranked and enters the game with a record of 9-1. Also, last week, Greenwood, after a 2-7 regular season, now has won 2 playoff games. They beat Damon Bailey's alma mater, Bedford North Lawrence, 48-24. Meanwhile, Martinsville beat Silver Creek 49-13. Tonight, the two teams play each other for the sectional championship. Should be an easy win for Martinsville. So, great year for Hendricks County. Great year for the Mid-State Conference. Hopefully, there's still several wins to come. Hopefully, some championships. Now the 4 captains from each team meeting at the center of the field for the coin toss. 2:05 on the pregame clock. And I'll tell you, this has been a very dramatic week for the country. You know, God, I sat through a very, very tense election night on Tuesday. I'm not going to tell you who I was for. I'll just say that I was very emotionally invested in it, as I'm sure a lot of you were. And I stayed up because I just, I had to, get up for work about 8, but I stayed up till about 3 o'clock because I just had to know who the winner was. And, I was pretty tense for actually a few months heading into the election. And so now I think after all that, we need a break from politics. So, whether you voted for Kamala or Trump or Chase Oliver, Jill Stein, Cordell West, RFK Jr., whoever you voted for, it doesn't matter to me, because, you know, from 7 to 10 on Friday nights, we're not Democrats, we're not Republicans. We're just Quakers. It's our time to put our differences aside, come together and support these kids. And then if you want to, argue about politics for the next 165 hours, that's fine. But just remember to always save those 3 hours for us to support these kids because they deserve it. They work so hard. So anyway, I'll tell you, when November rolls around and your team is still in it, that's exciting. And obviously, I hope that these kids will be playing 3 weekends from now at Lucas Oil Stadium for the Class 5A state championship. But nevertheless, glad they're 9-1, winning a season in 15 years. Got a big playoff win last week over Anderson, 63-8. Fortunately, got to get our guys a lot of rest. And now we play tonight. The winner of this game will play the winner of the East Central Franklin game that's going on tonight at East Central. If we win tonight, we will play on the road next week against either East Central or Franklin. More about that later in the broadcast. And also, there's another game going on right now that I have a particular vested interest in that I will tell you about shortly. So anyway, Plainfield will kick off first. It's a deep kick, and it is into the end zone for a touchback. So yet another touchback for Leo Hayab, the senior. That was his 62nd kickoff of the season. He's got nearly half of them in the end zone, 28 to be exact. But what I was going to say, tonight, my alma mater, the Madison Cubs, in the 65th year of their modern football program, are playing for what would be their first ever state championship, or their first ever sectional championship. So I'm going to be checking in on that score frequently throughout the evening, as well as the East Central Franklin score, and I'll keep you all updated. So now Decatur Central opens on offense. Bo Polston, the quarterback on their way to the University of Toledo, takes the handoff, drops back, got plenty of time, throws deep, and it is caught for about a 20-yard game. Carter Farrell picks up about 20 yards there, so good start to the game for Decatur Central. We better be ready. Bo Polston, a junior 3-year starter, has a laser rocket arm. Like I said, on his way to the University of Toledo, 22 yards on that first play. So 1st and 10 for Decatur Central at the Decatur Central 42. Now one receiver at each side, two receivers to the right, one to the left. Excuse me. And now Polston fakes the handoff, but he takes it himself, and he's brought down. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that was about it. Might have also been a slight loss. So a good stop. I say no gain. Okay, good. So no gain for Polston, bringing up 2nd and 10, 11:08 to go, sectional championship. This is the sixth playoff matchup in the last 10 seasons between these two teams. Decatur Central won the first four. They were all in the first round. Then 2 years ago, Plainfield won for the sectional championship, only the second sectional championship in school history. Now two receivers to each side. Holston and shotgun takes it, and he takes it up himself. And this time he gets about 5 yards before he's brought down. We got a late flag. Let's see what that's about. And let's see. I hope it wasn't for a late hit because it was about 2 seconds. The flag was about 2 seconds. Personal foul. Oh no, face mask. No, this is a team we can't afford to give 15 free yards to. So, Polston, after being stopped dead in his tracks on his first rush, he rushes again on his next play, and he gets. Let's see. So 4 yards by Polston plus 15. So now the Hawks already not even 2 minutes into this game into Quaker territory at the 39, 1st and 10. Now a handoff there, and he gets about 6 or 7. That was Kashmir Hicks. This is a very explosive Decatur Central offense, as we've seen going back to the Justin Dixon era when he instituted the run and shoot offense. They give Hicks credit for 6, bringing up 2nd and 4 at the 33, 9:57 to go. No score here in the first quarter. Coming at you live at Plainfield. This is the fourth sectional championship game I have commentated for the Quakers. The first two were losses. The last one was a spectacular win. So now two receivers to the left, one to the right. One running back, Polston and shotgun. Only 5 on the play clock. Takes it, hands off, and he's got the first down. It's to move on the right side, and he could go all the way, and he does. "33 yards for the touchdown there." So they score in just 2 minutes and 33 seconds. We better get those points back. And now the Ashton Vogel on the extra point. He's a great kicker. So Vogel got an extra point. So that was Napo Dodo there, by the way, on that 33-yard touchdown rush. So 9:27 to go here in the first quarter. Decatur Central 7, Plainfield 0. Let's get those points back, boys. Just remember what got you to this point. You know, if we play our hearts out and we fall a little short in this game, that's hardly an embarrassment. Certainly nothing to hang your head over. But it would be it would end the season with a bad taste in our mouths if we were to be 9-0 against everybody else, but 0-2 against Decatur Central, our fiercest rival. So that was a little too easy. 5 plays, 80 yards for the Hawks and 233. Now the Hawks act like they're going to go for a onside kick, but they go back to a regular formation, 18 on the play clock. The kick, it's fielded about the 8, right to the 15. He's got room on the right side. Ethan Ellis, has this. Wow, he ran as far as he could to the right side of the field, knocked out about to the 25, but you could tell he feels the urgency. Ellis has exploded for several big plays for us this year. Only a sophomore. Very exciting thing about what he's going to do for us for the next couple of years. But the thing is, we return almost all of our offensive stars, Wayrich being the one exception. We return them all next year. The problem is Decatur Central returns almost all their stars except for Dodo. So it's not a situation where, they're likely to have a big drop off that we can take advantage of. We're going to have to keep getting better. So 2 receivers to the left now, 2 running backs. Now hand off there to start. He's got through on the left side. Past the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. He fumbles. He fumbles. Oh, no. Oh, no. And Decatur Central's got it. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Starnes. I mean, he felt the urgency, but the ball came out after he picked up about 27 yards. Oh, my God. Poor guy. Now we've got to stop him from, scoring on this drive. Oh no! And what did us in our first Decatur Central game, that 42-21 loss. We had we committed 3 turnovers. We lost by 3 touchdowns. So now Decatur Central takes it at their own 43. We got to get a stop here, boys. So now the Hawks with an I formation with full center, and now Hicks takes it up for about 4 yards here on the right. See where they mark him. Move it up to the 49s to give him 6 there. His first one was for 6, so was his second. So he's 2 for 12 now. 8:49 to go here in the first quarter. Decatur Central will argue 7-0 lead. Pitch back in. Yeah, we stop him. Yes, we stop him. All right. So Carter, we stopped him dead in his tracks. We brought him down for a loss. Timed perfectly. Brought him down for -2. So now a big 3rd and 6. We got to get a stop here. Probably 4 down territory for the Hawks, but anyway, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, empty backfield. Instant pass, and he's got the first down. Now that was Carter on the reception there. Holston has completed his first 2 passes. No, they said I guess they pushed. I guess he stepped out. So they only said it was for 4. So that's now 4th and 2. They are going for it. It's at the Plainfield 49. So the Hawks have gotten in our territory on the Hawks have gotten into our territory in the first 2 drives. Hopefully we'll make the stop here. Come on, boys, get a big stop here. And now, and he's and he's going all the way for the touchdown. Gosh darn it. Kashmir Hicks, 49 yards, and we are in trouble. We are in trouble. Decatur Central, they're making so much noise now. Their fans are. It feels like it's a home game for them. It practically is. They're only 8 miles. They are located only 8 miles from here. So Decatur Central with the second touchdown in exactly 90 seconds, 49 from Kashmir Hicks. The first one was 33 yards from Napo Dodo. And we've got to get something going here. Vogel on the extra point. Now they're going for the 2. And now they throw it in, and it's good. So Polston Hicks for the 2-point conversion. So, man, I am speechless. I knew we were going to have to bring our A game, but man, we're up against a team that's playing its A+ game. Now the main thing we got to do is not panic. Just be composed. just be methodical on this drive. If it takes you 15, 20 plays to score, that's okay. Just score, make it a one possession game. But I'll tell you, Decatur Central, they got to the state championship game last year, lost 33-6 to Fort Wayne Snyder, and you can tell that they're aiming at winning that elusive state championship, which would be their first. Also, but it would be the Mid-State Conference's first, amazingly, after all these years. Well, I am very, very nervous, but I'm not gonna give up on these kids. They've been through too much. If if Starnes hadn't lost that fumble, man, and make no mistake about it, Starnes is a big part of the reason why we're here, why we're ranked number 5 in the state, why we're 9-1, 19 touchdowns, and he's only a junior, nearly 15. Well, that does um, despite the fumble that Rush did put him over 1,500 yards on the season. Hopefully, still has a lot more in him. And now a squib kick, and now as we bring it up to the 35. He tripped, and he falls down at the 37. That was Hayden Herbeck, the sophomore for the Quakers on the return, presumably the younger brother of Harrison. So Plainfield starting off its next drive in good position at the 37. So now it looks like we got Garver and Ellis out to the left, 2 running backs. Starnes takes this one, and this time he gets up about 4. Only the second rush, the second offensive play for the Quakers in this game. So Starnes for 4 on that one, bringing up 2nd and 6, 7:30 to go. Already down by 14, but we got time to come back. So now another handoff there to Starnes, and he gets up for about another 3, maybe 4. You give him credit for 3, so I have Starnes 3 for 34 now. 3rd and 3 at our own 44, 7:02 to go. One receiver now to each side. Empty backfield. Oh, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Sabank, no backfield. And now he takes it himself, and he's got the first down and more past the 50, past the 45, out of bounds around the 40. So good rush there by Sabank, and that gets the crowd into it. We needed a big offensive play like that, so we got a first down into Hawk territory. 6:42 to go. The clock stops because he went out of bounds. Gets it up to the 39. So 17 yards there on Sabank's first keeper of the game. That was the first Plainfield offensive play that was not a rush by Starnes. So now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, empty backfield now. Now Starnes gets back behind Sabank. Starnes gets the ball, but they're right on top of him, and they bring him down for a loss. So let's see where they mark him. Very well might not have a final score tonight between Franklin and they marked Starnes down for -4 there, by the way. We might not have a final score here tonight between Franklin and East Central because that game is starting half an hour later. Than it's starting at 7:30 rather than the standard 7. So now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Screen pass And looks like some miscommunication. I'm not sure who the intended receiver was. Sabank's first pass of the game, bringing up 3rd and 14. We got to stay out of 3rd and longs. Third and 14 at the Decatur Central 43. 6:01 to play in the first quarter. Plainfield already trailing by 14. Decatur Central has run over us like an 18-wheel truck. We're trying to get back in it. Now Wayrich goes out to the left. Garver to the right. Now Ellis goes out to the left as well. Only 5 on the play clock. They better get in motion. And now looks like, they take a timeout. God, I hate to squander a timeout this early in the game in this situation. Man, we just got to settle down. We got to settle down. Man, this is tense. So let's just keep the faith here. Keep supporting these kids like we've done all year. No score yet listed for Madison and North Harrison down there in the lovely community of Ramsey. I guess about 20 miles or so northwest of Louisville. It's in the far south of the state. Madison, my hometown, is right on the Ohio River, about halfway between Louisville and Cincinnati, a few miles closer to Louisville. So now 3rd and 14, a very critical 3rd down for the Quakers. We do not want them to get the ball with a chance. We do not want Decatur Central to get the ball with a chance to make to take a 3-possession lead. Starnes goes up the middle, gets about half of what he needs, so that'll bring up 4th and semi-manageable. So Starnes already with his 5th carry of the game. Give him credit for 6 on that one. I have him 5 for 36. So the Quakers going for it 4th and 8 at the Decatur Central 37. Sabank has only thrown once in this game. Very well could do it again here. However, 2 running backs, only 1 receiver. So let's see. Pitch back now to Wayrich with his first rush. And he's hit at the line, weaves his way up, gets about 5, but he's still short. Wayrich's first rush of the game. It's a solid rush, but it's not quite enough. So Decatur Central now takes over. I know they're going to want to stick the dagger in us early and get some rest for the regional next week. We got to stop them. We've got to get a stop here. 7:19 your time of day. God, I mean, I hate this. This is crazy, but I mean, they're on pace to, make it a running clock game. We've got to avoid that. That we can't end the season on that kind of note. Even if we're going to end up with a loss, we got to go down swinging. So now I formation there, and now a handoff there. He's got some room on the left side, and he gets up for about 4 or 5. Carter again. Already 2 receptions in this game, now 2 rushes. They give him 5 on that one. Pharrell Carter, one of several star juniors for the Hawks offense, 2nd and 5 now at their own 38, 4:52 to go and counting. Decatur Central 14, Plainfield 0 here in the sectional championship. 2nd time in the last 3 years these teams have met for the sectional championship. 6th time in the last 10 years they met in the playoffs. Plainfield's 4th sectional championship game in the last 11 years. And now a handoff. And he's got some room, and he's got the first down. The more spins around, gets close to the 50. Napo Dodo there picks up about 10. His second rush, his first was 33 yards for the touchdown. Give him 10 on that one. So 1st and 10 now, Decatur Central at their own 48, 4:20 to go. Already leading 15-0. I forgot they got the 2 points, so I was wrong about the 14. It's actually 15-0. That goes back to the Justin Dixon era. A lot of 2-point conversions trying to force the other team to make the extra play. So now Dodo again. This time he's brought down. He might have gained 1. Yeah, they give him credit for 1. So he's 3 for 44 and a touchdown. 3:48 to go in the first quarter. Decatur Central looks like they're content to be methodical. They know if they get even a field goal here, they've got a 3-possession lead that's going to be very hard to overcome. We do have a good offense. We've had some good moments on offense even in this game. We scored 21 points against Decatur Central when we played them back in week 6, but we got to show that we can stop this powerhouse offense, and so far we have not. And now Polston takes it, but he's brought down. Maybe gains just 2, so it's going to be 3rd and long. Polston, a very solid rusher. Polston wears number 12, picks up 2 on that one. His 3rd keeper of the game. He's 3 for 6 now, bringing up 3rd and 7. I found out, by the way, the other day, Bo Polston's actual first name is Braden, so I wonder where Bo came from. When I think about Bo, I think about a character named Bo Brady from the soap opera Days of Our Lives, with which my maternal grandmother watched zealously. I mean, super zealously. So now we got a whistle here on the snap. The play's dead. So Decatur Central takes a timeout with 2:32 to go. I think what Kyle Enright, their head coach, is thinking now is, they want to make sure they get this first down because, if we get the ball back, a touchdown and any conversion point, it's a 1-possession game. We're right back in it. So I think they want to make sure that they go in for the kill. Hopefully they won't succeed at that, but, we shall see. So anyway, but yeah, like I said, my alma mater, Madison, they've been notoriously bad in football. This is the 65th year of their modern football program. My father was actually a senior on their first ever, the first ever team of their modern era. And they went 0-5 that year. And they've only won 187 games now in 6, and so they've averaged less than 3 wins a year. And this year, they're 6-4 now, so they've clinched their first winning season in 10 years. And I believe that was their first winning season since the 90s. I'll have to look that up. But I remember when J.P. Sinclair and I were commentating Plainfield together. We hold that thought. So anyway, 2 receivers now to the right, 1 to the left. Polston with an empty backfield in shotgun, takes a snap, drops back. He's got time, throws, and he's got the first down. I believe that was Eisen. Yes, it was Eisen. He is a sophomore, 6'1", 155. So an 11-yard gain there from Polston to Carson, and the Hawks do move the chains. Polston, I think his knee was already on the ground when he caught it. But anyway, Polston's 3rd pass, they've all been complete for 37 yards. And now Hicks gets it, and gets it for about 6 or 7. So they give him credit for 7 on that one. So Hicks already 4 for 68 and a touchdown. So now 2nd and 3 at the Plainfield 31 for Decatur Central. 15-0 lead for the Hawks. 1:25 to go here in the first quarter of the sectional championship game. 7:25 your time of day under the Friday night lights. Now it's 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Polston takes it, and he's so he did get the first down. So that was Eisen with his 2nd reception. This one for 6 yards. So Polston has completed his first 4 passes for a modest 43 yards, but he's been very efficient. And now we got a flag. We got a flag. Play whistle dead. False start against Decatur Central, so Plainfield finally gets a break. So, first and 15 now for the Hawks at the 30. So now, a keeper by Polston, and he gets back to about the original line of scrimmage. Give him about 5, so it'll bring up about 2nd and 10. Polston already with his 4th keeper of the game. Let's see where they mark him. So now under a minute to go. So they give Polston credit for 3 there. So second and 12. So we got a good shot to hold him here. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now handoff there to Dodo. He gets up for about 6 or so, bringing up about 3rd and 6. Dodo's 4th carry of the game. That will likely take us to the end of the quarter. They do not have to run another play. 26 seconds now on the clock. Could make it 7. So Dodo 4 for 51, including the touchdown. And yeah, so after 1 quarter of play here at Plainfield, a very tense crowd here. Plainfield Quakers already behind the Decatur Central Hawks 15-0 in the sectional championship game. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to recognize them, and we hope you will support them. They are Remax Shutterstone, Julia Berberich, Ganell Financial, Crone Family Construction, My IT Indy Ryan Grimes, I-70 Record Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crest Point Real Estate, Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellison Associates. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Plainfield, we're about to start the second quarter with your Plainfield Quakers trailing the Decatur Central Hawks by a score of 15-0. Decatur Central has the ball 3rd and 6 at the Plainfield 21. They are already in the field goal range of their superstar senior kicker, Ashton Vogel, a big college prospect. But they're going to try to get the touchdown if they can. Either way, we got to guard against them getting. And now a direct snap. And we're on top of him, and we stop him. We stop him. So, yeah, that was no gain there. So now Vogel going for what would be a 38-yard field goal. He is a superstar kicker. He beat us with a 49-yarder last year in the regular season game. And now this one is up, and this is good. So we're in trouble. It is now a three possession deficit. It's not insurmountable, but it is bleak. We got to get something going here. Very, very concerning start. This is not how we want the season to end. You know, I went into this game thinking we had about a 50-50 chance. I figured that we could watch the game tape, figure out what went wrong last time, what we can do better this time. We've improved since then. Also, if we avoided turnovers, I thought we'd have a good chance to do it. But Decatur Central, I give them all the credit in the world, though. I mean, they're coming out there playing like they have their sights set on the state championship, and they very well might get it. And I thought all along whoever won this game would have the inside track on representing the south side of the bracket in the state championship game 3 weeks from now at Lucas Oil Stadium. So now the Hawks set to kick off. This is going, and this goes into the end zone for a touchback. So Plainfield starts off at the 20, 11 to go, still nearly three quarters, but we got to make up three possessions, trailing 18-0. This is not good. And the thing is, Decatur Central's already in a position that our defense has often been in all year, which is where now a big part of winning is simply taking away the big play. So now Wayrich takes it. Only a second carry of the game, and they might actually have him for a loss. He might get forward progress back to the line of scrimmage. -2. So 2nd and 12 at our own 18, 10:48 to go. Come on, boys. Let's get something going here. I see the Quaker mascot there walking by the fence. Two receivers now to the left. One running back, Sabank in shotgun. Garver and Ellis to the left. Nobody to the right. Now hand off there to Wayrich. He's got room on the left side, and there's some big piece of equipment came off. So yeah, he only got 1 yard, so 3rd and 11. We got to do better than this. We are in trouble. So now we're looking at an almost certain pass here. Not certain, but almost certain. So two receivers to the left, one to the right now, one running back. And now Sabank fakes a pass, and he takes it himself, but he only gets about 2, so it's going to be 4th and long. Sabank's first keeper went for 17, but this one much, much less. No, they got enough for they said he lost 3. Oh yeah, I was looking at the wrong yard marker. Sorry about that. So 4th and 14 at the 17 now. So the Quakers -4 yards on that drive. We can't win like that. The punt bounces just inside the 50, goes out of bounds around the 45. So Decatur Central taking over in good field position. So very tense, silent atmosphere here on the Plainfield side of the field. Still no score with Madison and North Harrison. So anyway, Decatur Central is taking over at their own 47. And now fakes the handoff and incomplete pass. Looked like he was going for Carter there, and he would have, and he might have had something if he got it, but just didn't get the grip. So that was Polston's first incompletion. He completed his first 4 for 43 yards. He's played very conservatively in this game. He can be a gunslinger when he needs to be, though. He's headed to play Division 1A football there at the University of Toledo in northwestern Ohio. So 2nd and 10 out the 47. Hand off there. And he's got inside the 40, up to about the 38. That was Dodo. Dodo is actually the Hindi word for asleep. Picks up 15 there. Dodo, so he's 5 for 16, so nothing sleep-like about Dodo tonight. Two receivers now to the right, one to the left, one running back, Polston and shotgun. And now we got a flag here. False start against Decatur Central, so that'll bring it up 5 yards to the 43. Well, this is not a position that we're accustomed to being in, and Decatur Central did beat us, so obviously we knew they're capable of beating us again. But we did respond well to that loss, running off 4 consecutive wins afterward. So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Wilson and shotgun, empty backfield, takes it. He's pressured. He's running for his life here, and now he gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. All right. Good. So that's good. We got to force Polston to get rid of the ball before he wants to. Now, he was not particularly close to anyone on that one. So 2nd and 15 now. Clock stops 8:14 to go in the second quarter. Decatur Central 18, Plainfield 0. So 8:14 to go here in the second quarter. The Hawks 2nd and 15 now at their own 43 with an 18-point lead. God, it just hit me. If they score a touchdown here and they get a conversion point, that's a 4-possession game, and they would just about have it wrapped up at that point. But now they take it their second time out here in the game with 8:13 to go in the second quarter. So with that, let's take a short break for a few words from our sponsors, and then we'll be back. Your score, Decatur Central 18, Plainfield 0 on audiosportsonline.com. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to recognize them, and we hope you will support them. They are Remax Centerstone, Julia Berberich, Canal Financial, Crone Family Construction, My IT Indy Ryan Grimes, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crest Point Real Estate, Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellison Associates. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes at Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Plainfield, we have a very concerning situation brewing with 8:13 to go here in the sectional championship game. Your Plainfield Quakers already trailing the Decatur Central Hawks by 3 possessions, a score of 18-0. Decatur Central now has the ball 2nd and 15 at the Plainfield 43. A touchdown and conversion will give them a nearly insurmountable 4-possession lead. So 2 receivers to each side now. Polston takes back, pressured, and he gets rid of it, but he's brought down for just a very short gain. That was to Carter. That was to Dodo. Excuse me, Dodo's first reception of the game. So it's going to be 3rd and long. Only 2 yards there on that completion to Dodo. So 3rd and 13 now. We got to get a stop here. And I wouldn't be surprised though that if they did go for it on 4th down in this situation. So now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. This is a good formation for a keeper. And now Polston, and he does keep it, but no, he throws deep, and he's got a man open. It's intercepted. Oh my God! Boy, did we ever need that near the goal line. Oh my God! The timing was slightly off. Oh, that's only the 4th interception of the season against Polston versus 16 touchdowns. So the defense finally comes through. The bad news is we take over at the 4. I believe that's the first interception we've gotten against Polston since Grant Irwin got that one early in the 4th quarter in the sectional championship game that started the comeback. We were down 10-0. Irwin had 3 offensive touchdowns the week before at Harrison. Then that touchdown made it 10-6 and put us in position to get the win there at the end, which we did. So now first and 10 at the 4. Sabank takes it, and Starnes, excuse me, Starnes. So now Starnes picks up about 6 or so to get us out of the danger zone. 7, okay. So 6 for 43 on the game for Starnes, the junior superstar. 19 touchdowns on the season to go with Wayrich's 18. Wayrich, hopefully this will not be his last high school game. 2 receivers to the right now, 2 running backs. Sabank in shotgun. And now Starnes, and he takes up the middle. He's got the first down and several more. All right. 6:37 to go. And we get the ball first to start the second half. Pick up so 2 7-yard rushes in a row for Starnes. Hopefully we'll build on that momentum. First and 10 now at our own 18. 6:25 to go in the half. Starnes again. He's got 3 on the left side. Pass and I think he's got the first down there. He's going to be within a yard at least. So Starnes finally starting to hit his stride. I wish it had happened before we were in this hole, but it's not insurmountable. We got 3. I didn't see a flag, but we have 3 officials deliberating now. If it stands, it's about a 10-yard rush by Starnes, and I could see the urgency in his rushing. Okay, it's face mask. Okay. So another first down. So 11 yards by Starnes plus 5 for the penalty. So we've gotten 30 yards now in this possession. Let's keep piling it on. And now Starnes again, this time for about 6. Now I'm thinking if we get a touchdown, if we use up most of the rest of the half and get a touchdown, make it 18-7, and then get the ball first to start the second half, we can make it a 1-possession game and be right back in it. So no mistakes here, boys. Just take your time and score. And now Starnes again takes it up. He's going to be close to the first down. He might have it. Okay, he does have it. So another first down. So Starnes all of a sudden starting to, and now the crowd getting into it. I have Starnes 10 for 71. 2 receivers now to the right. Starnes the running back. No, Wayrich in. Wayrich gets it, but he doesn't get much. Wayrich gets maybe 1 or 2. Wayrich, wow. Well, they have him 2 on that, but I have him 4 for 3 on this game. We need some more from him, too. And even 5 minutes to go. Plainfield now 2nd and 8 at their own 46, trailing by 18 already. 4:54 to go here in the second quarter of the sectional championship game. Now 2 receivers to the right. Wayrich. And now a pitch, and now a fake. Oh, it's a loose ball. It's a loose ball. And Plainfield, I think, knocked it out of bounds, but it's going to be a big loss. They tried it looked like they faked it to Wayrich and tried to give it to Ellis, but the connection wasn't there. Oh, no, so that brings it back to the 28. A gigantic loss. I mean, we're lucky that Decatur Central didn't get the ball, but now all of a sudden we're, almost forced to pass here. Sabank has passed only once all game, an incompletion, and Plainfield takes its second timeout with 4:09 to go. So, well, we are in trouble. That interception gave us a chance to get back in it, but now at 3rd and 26 at the 28, it looks like we're going to end up squandering the drive. Still no score between East Central and Franklin. 5 minutes to go, under 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter now. Meanwhile, In the second quarter, still no score between Madison and North Central. My alma mater, the Cubs, going for their first ever sectional championship in football. I did not see it coming. I don't follow Madison football super closely, but as bad as they've been in recent years, I did not think that they had any reasonable chance to go to sectional this year. So now 3rd and 26 at the 28. Two receivers to the left, one to the right, one running back, Sabank in shotgun. Now Garver in motion. Gives it to Wayrich, though, and he's got through on the left side, and he gets over 10, but he's going to be still far short of the first down. Wayrich, that was his 5th carry of the game. He had only 3 on his first 4. Give him 10 on that one. I imagine we will punt, yes. That would be very high risk. But now the defense has to come through. So now the punt bounces up 34, takes a bounce up to the 26. And now he's got some room, though. He's up to the 40, 45. He's got some room on the left side of the field, but he's chased down and brought down from behind it. The Decatur Central 44. So now we just got to just stop them from getting anything else. Very, very concerning. And if we go down 18 nothing at half, that's bad enough. But if like I said, one Decatur Central touchdown and any conversion point would give them a nearly insurmountable 4-possession lead. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And now the receiver slipped, so it's out of bounds. Got a break there. So 2nd and 10 now at the 44. So Polston's completed 5 of 9 passes so far, 45 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Man, we're not, we're just not on our game. We've so far we've let Decatur Central play the game they want to instead of the game we want to. We got to change that. So 2 receivers to each side now, empty backfield. But he pitched back to the and we stop him dead in his tracks for a loss. All right. All right. All right, that was Hicks there for -2. So the very big 3rd and 12 now. We got to get them off the field here. And when we get the ball back, we're just going to have to go for the score. We're too far down, being 3 possessions down already. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now we got some movement and a flag against Decatur Central. False start. So that's 3rd and 17. No excuse whatsoever for not getting off the field now, boys. No excuse. Well, this is a this is a tone I've had in a lot of past games against Decatur Central, but it's not a tone I've had in a lot of games this year because we've been so good and we've played mostly from ahead. So hopefully we'll get this back here. 3rd and 17. Now 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now Polston drops it back. He throws deep. Nearly intercepted, but nevertheless dropped. So it's nevertheless 4th and 17. So presumably the Hawks will punt at their own 37. Now we had a blocked punt last week against Anderson that set up a touchdown. That'd be great if we got another one here. But last year after that 6-1 start, we lost our last 3 games in large part because they look like they're going for an 80-yard field goal. Surely this is not serious. I mean, the NFL record is what, 66? I, I don't know what that was all about. I know Vogel's good, but I don't think he's quite that good. Um, he might be. I think he and Alex Bale from Westfield are the two best kickers I've ever seen. Out Alex Bale, I commentated him in one game in 2015 when I was commentating. I was Brownsburg's commentator for that game. Bale went on to play for Cincinnati, and he was either Oregon or Oregon State. I don't remember which. I got it mixed up. And yeah, I also don't understand the transfer rules that they have in college sports these days. I know they've changed a lot in recent years. I keep hearing about the transfer portal. Like I remember, for example, Hunter Johnson, the great Brownsburg quarterback. He went to Clemson for a year, then went to Northwestern for 2 years, then went back to Clemson for his senior year. I just don't understand it. So now I don't think they're going to go for a field goal here. I think they're going to punt. Looks like Starnes is back deep to receive for the. Well, they're lining up for a field goal. I don't think they're going to attempt it unless there's something crazy that I don't know about. Oh no! And the thing, it's a live ball inside the 10, and Starnes now takes up to the 15, inside to the 20. So I guess their hope is that the ball is going to bounce in a crazy way and that they'd recover. It has basically the effect of a punt. Well, let me. I believe the rule is that if a receiving player touches it, it's a live ball. But if he doesn't, then Plainfield would take over wherever. Um, I'll have to check. That's such an unusual one. So Ashton Vogel now has an 80-yard field goal attempt to add to his resume. And now screen pass is complete to Starnes. Picks up about 4. Only the second Plainfield pass of the game. 2:33 to go. Only one timeout, so we got to show some urgency. Pick up 4 yards on that play. So now, and so Bronx sacked there. So it's for a big loss. So it's going to be 3rd and long. Seven-yard loss there. 1:55 to go. We got to get something going here. I hate to be in a situation where we're almost forced to pass, but 2 receivers to the left now, 1 to the right. Sabank drops. He looks. He's got time. Then he takes it up himself, but he doesn't get much, and he's brought down. And now Decatur Central, I believe, has taken their last time out. All right, now I believe they're second. But the point is they want, with 1:36 to go, they want time to get another touchdown before they head into the locker room. 7:55 your time of day now. About midway through the second quarter, no score between Madison and North Harrison. And also in the second quarter, first quarter, under 5 minutes to go, still no score with Franklin and East Central. The winner of this game plays the winner of that game next week. If Plainfield is the winner, the game will be on the road. East Central's in some little town about 80 miles southeast of here. So it would be a good drive, but just about the same distance as Harrison. Maybe slightly further, not much. Of course, a few of us made trips to Harrison and back on back-to-back. A few of us made trips to Harrison and back on consecutive days this year because of the lightning delay. And now a punt, and it bounces in, and makes a good Plainfield bounce inside the 30. Now downs at the 27, a 56-yard punt. So Decatur Central, with no timeouts left, takes over at their own 27 now. Well, simply put, Plainfield has simply, been taken out of its. They just haven't gotten on track offensively, and it'll be interesting to see what Decatur Central does here with 121 to go at their own 27. Will they be content with a and Plainfield's out of timeouts too, by the way. Will Decatur Central be content with the 18-point lead? Now handoff to Hicks there, and he gets about Dodo, excuse me, Dodo picks about 5 or 6. That was a pretty conservative play, so I'd assume that they're not going to try anything too fancy. So I give it to Dodo again, and this time I think he's got the first down, but not much more. Under a minute to go now. So I got another 3 for Dodo. First and 10 at their own 38 for Decatur Central now. Fakes the handoff, and now we go for the sack on Polston. He throws it, and he just gets rid of it. The clock stops with 35.4 seconds to go. Polston really is not. I mean, he's just mainly been a game manager. He's taken a couple of chances through an interception. I mean, he's only completed 5 of 10 passes for 45 yards. No touchdowns, 1 interception. So we have started to put some good pressure on him. That's one thing that the defense has done pretty well in this game for us. Second and 10 now at the 38 for Decatur Central. And now a handoff there to Hicks. And I think he got out of bounds after a short gain. So that will stop the clock with 29.5 seconds to go. Only picks up 2. So Plainfield likely to get out of the half without giving up any more points. And I would imagine that if they do not get the first down here, if Decatur Central does not get the first down here, they will just let the rest of the half run out. We'll see. So now 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. No, 3 to the right, 2 to the left, excuse me. Polston in shotgun. Takes snap, drops back, throws, line drive. It's caught, and he's out of bounds around the 50. That was Carter there, his 3rd reception of the game. $11-yard gain. So now the Decatur Central 1st and 10 at their own at Plainfield 49, and now Holston fires up the middle, and it's incomplete. He had to get really high and just didn't quite get it. Dodo was the intended receiver, so now 2nd and 10 at the Plainfield 49 for Decatur Central, an 18-point lead, 19.4 seconds to go in the half. So now 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Keep in mind, this is a good formation for keepers, and Polston is a capable runner. Takes a snap. He's pressured, and he gets out of a sack, gets rid of it, throws downfield, and it's intercepted. He takes it up to the 35, spins around. He's going for something here. He's brought down, 7 seconds left. So Polston's 2nd interception of the game. He only had 3 coming into tonight. So Plainfield will have at least 1 play left, and we might as well go for something. We'll take over at the 36. So yeah, Holston, that wasn't a super bad interception. It's probably not going to cost them anything, but Plainfield obviously, certainly that passing defense is an area in which we have improved a lot this year. We have contained Holston for the most part in this game. So now Sabank looks, I know he takes it up himself, up to the, and he's brought down from behind, and that will be it as he picks up about 6 on the last play of the half. So, very concerning first half for your Quakers at halftime. In the sectional championship game, they trail the arch rival Decatur Central Hawks 18-0. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to recognize them, and we hope you will support them. They are Remax Centerstone Julia Berberich, Ganell Financial, Crone Family Construction, by IT Indy Ryan Grimes, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crest Point Real Estate, Chris Pearson, Seleth Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellis and Associates. Thank you, sponsors. Your support of the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Plainfield, we're at halftime with your Plainfield Quakers in a position that, in a way, has been very familiar to them over the years, but is a sharp contrast to the way most of their season has gone. They're once again being tormented by the arch rival Decatur Central Hawks, but it's a game in which the Quakers have been dominated like they've never been dominated all season. 9-1 coming into this game. Decatur Central got the opening kickoff, scored in just 5 plays on a 33-yard touchdown rush by Napo Dodo. Then after the Quakers on the opening possession gave the ball to Luke Starnes, he rushed 27 yards, but then fumbled. And then Decatur Central quickly converted that into a 49-yard touchdown rush by Kashmir Hicks. Then Bo Polston threw to Hicks for the 2-point conversion, making it 15-0. And then with 11-11 to go in the third quarter, Ashton Vogel, one of the best kickers in the state, hit a 38-yarder, bringing us to our current score of 18-0, while Plainfield never got much offense going at all. We'll look at the individual statistics. First of all, for your Plainfield Quakers, Bryce Sabank has completed 1 of 2 passes for 4 yards, no touchdowns and no interceptions. His reception was to Luke Starnes, obviously, for 4 yards. The Quakers have done most of their damage on the ground as usual, but they've done far less damage on the ground than usual. Starnes leading the way with 10 for 71 yards and not much beyond that. Weston Wayrich, a mere 5 for 13, and Sabank 5 for 14. Meanwhile, for Decatur Central, superstar junior quarterback Bo Polston really not having that good a game. He's been well contained. He's been pressured a lot. He's completed only 6 of 14 passes for 58 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He only had 3 coming into the game versus 16 touchdowns. As far as his receivers, Pharrell Carter has 3 for 39, Carson Ison 2 for 17, and Napo Dodo 1 for 2. Decatur Central also doing most of its damage on the ground tonight, led by Kashmir Hicks with 6 rushes for 68 yards and a touchdown. Napo Dodo 7 for 77 and a touchdown. Bo Polston 4 for 9, Pharrell Carter 2 for 4, and Michael Campbell 1 for 1. So basically, this is a game in which Plainfield, they do get the ball first to start the second half. That's about the only good thing. But they're going to have to just get something going. Now, the last couple of possessions of Decatur Central, that we started to contain them, put a lot of pressure on Polston, and get them into some 3rd and longs, and we started having more success. And they after those first 2 drives in the first 4:03 of the game, where they got the 2 touchdowns, they've only scored 3 points since. So it's hard to overestimate what a disaster that Starnes fumble was. I'm not picking on Starnes. He's had an amazing year for us, and um, but at the same time, it was a very consequential play. We were looking at going up. Um, we're looking at making it 7-7, and all of a sudden it becomes 14-0, and actually 15-0 because they made the 2-point conversion. So completely different game at that point. They completely seized the momentum. So if we get a score, preferably a touchdown, to start off the second half, then then I think if we can on Decatur Central's ensuing possession, if we can hold them without points and then come back and have a chance to make it a one-possession game, I think we can be right back in it. So we just have to take it one play at a time, one possession at a time, and understand we can only get one score at a time. And both sides of the ball are going to have to bring it. Neither one can carry it for the other. We're going to have to get 24 great minutes on both sides of the ball and special teams. So anyway, we're not out of it, and these kids, I'm certainly not going to give up on them. I'm going to stick with them. A couple of weeks ago, Danville was down 35-14 to start the fourth quarter at Brebeuf Jesuit, scored 22 points to take the lead, then got an interception return to complete a 29-point run before they ended up losing in spectacular fashion. So we can do it, but our margin for error is just about zero. So we're going to have to just play our A-plus game the rest of the way. Okay, just Franklin and East Central scoreless in the fourth quarter. Bishop Chatard and Roncalli tied at 14 in the second. I really miss our annual game against Roncalli, even though they usually beat us. It made us so much tougher. But that I'll tell you, that turn of events where Decatur Central got the 7-0 lead, and then Starnes starts off like he wants to answer, take it in for the touchdown on the first play, and then fumbles, and then Decatur Central recovers and converts it into a touchdown. It reminds me of a story that I've told several times over the years. Like I said, Plainfield, after Plainfield beat Decatur Central in the 2012 season, 17-14, the first time I ever commentated this rivalry, Decatur Central then went on a 13-game winning streak against us, including 4 in the playoffs. And I have a lot of very painful memories of that streak. There were some games where they just blew us out. Like one of them, one of them doesn't seem so bad anymore. It was 59-21 back in 2014. But, that Decatur Central team had 2 guys who made the NFL, Tommy Stevens and Tyrone Tracy. Tracy just had a 100-yard gain a few weeks ago for the New York Giants. Tommy Stevens played 1 year for the Carolina Panthers, now is in his 3rd year as a star in the Canadian Football League for the Calgary Stampeders. In fact, he already owns the all-time CFL record for most rushing touchdowns in the game by a quarterback with 4. So it's cool that guys I commentated in high school are doing so well professionally now, 10 years later. But anyway, let's see. There are 2 plays that sum up with me that 13-game losing streak to Decatur Central. Again, after we beat them in 2012 in the regular season, they beat us the next 9 regular seasons, 2013 to 2021, and 4 times in the playoffs, 2015, 2017, 2019, and I believe 2020. I'll have to check all the exact years. And then we beat them in the sectional championship. We beat them in the regular season and then in the sectional championship in 2022. Beat them twice that year to snap the 13-game losing streak. But to me, there are two plays that really sum up how there are 2 plays that sum up that losing streak and how it was for us. In the 2019 playoffs, they start off ahead 7-0. We take over the ensuing possession at our own 30, give the ball to Jarrett Stephen, who only played 1 year for us after transferring from Avon. He was a senior that year who had never gotten much playing time for the Orioles despite his immense talent. And anyway, he took the ball all the way down to the Decatur Central 3. Then I believe it was the next play. I know it was later that drive. There was a running play, and it was close to the end zone. And I was just, it was a scrum, so I couldn't see the ball. And I was waiting for one of the officials, to raise his arm, signaling touchdown. And it's like, okay, we're going to be tied. Um, and then one of the Tracy kids emerged from the pile with the ball and a clear path to the end zone. So all of a sudden, instead of 7-7, it's 14-0, and that set the tone for the entire game. And Decatur Central cruised to an easy win. And in fact, my brother in the Los Angeles area occasionally listens to my broadcasts. It just so happened, had turned on the game either right before or during that play, and he told me that based on how I sounded, it sounded. He said it sounded like somebody had just died, and yeah, it completely devastated me. And then the other one was in 2021. We're down 7-0 at Plainfield, at Decatur Central, excuse me, and we punt and we down it at the 1. It's like, all right, we just got to hold them, and then we'll get the ball back in good field position and a chance to tie. But on the first play of the ensuing drive, Caleb Hicks, the superstar Decatur Central running back, took it in 99 yards for the touchdown. Now, this is my 140th game as a high school commentator, and that to this day is the only 99-yard rushing touchdown I have ever commentated. I think there's only been one in the history of the NFL. It was Tony Dorsett in a Monday night game in '82. That's if there's ever been another one, I'm not aware of it. I know there have been at least two 109-yard rushing touchdowns in the Canadian Football League. For whatever reason, Canadian football has a 110-yard rather than 100-yard field from end zone to end zone. That is, so the 55-yard line is actually midfield. Canadian football is a distinct form of gridiron football. For those of you not familiar with it, if you watched a Canadian football game, you would instantly recognize it as football, but you would instantly, well, at least very quickly, realize it's not quite the football that you're accustomed to. Got 3:30 on the pregame clock, and let's see here. Well, another presidential election has come and gone, so I guess we can take a break for about a year and a half, or about 2.5, 3 years before the next campaign kicks into high gear. And I just want to say, like I said, I will never endorse any political views. I will never endorse any political views in a sports broadcast. And I will never make anyone not feel welcome. Like I say, I don't care who you voted for. If you're a Quakers fan, I will put our political differences aside for 3 hours every Friday night to cheer for our team with you, And I just want to say, to me, one thing that's really sad is the way that things have changed so much over the years and the way people discuss politics. Back when I was a kid, and even into the 90s when I was a young adult, I'm 53 now to put this in perspective, people regularly argued about politics. But the arguments were generally controlled and non-personal, Like I remember when I was a kid, my maternal grandmother, who was an avid Republican, constantly bickered with her best friend, who was an avid Democrat, about politics. And I always loved being present for their arguments because they were so entertaining. And after after the arguments were done, they were still best friends, and that's the way it should be. But I think the thing is, because now so many people argue about politics online, when you don't see the face of the person who you're talking to, it's so much easier to make rude and abusive and hurtful comments, and even hateful, absolutely disgusting, um, yeah, absolutely disgusting comments that really sometimes cause people, it sometimes cause people to break friendships, and that's very tragic when that happens. And so I think I think we should all discuss politics. I think we should spar about politics and be open, open minded, listen to each other. But at the same time, what I say is when you're discussing politics online, even if you're upset with somebody's views, you know, be constructive, be civil. Don't say you're an idiot, you're, a cultist or whatever. Say I disagree with you because, and then give some articulate reason, support your argument with evidence. That's the way we should do it. And also, before you hit the send button, think about, is this the same thing I would say to this person face to face? And if it's not, then you need to, rephrase it, you know, because it's not worth making an enemy over. It's not worth losing a friendship over. I've seen that happen so much over the last several years. Um, so, and finally, I'm going to leave with a quote from President Kennedy. Um, on June 10th, 1963, he gave a he gave a speech, and he talked about the differences that we had with the USSR. This is during the Cold War, of course, and it's a statement that affected me when I heard it when I was a young adult, and now it affects me even more because to me the quote could be said today, referring to the division that we have here in America. Because this country seems like it's as divided within itself as we were from the USSR back when I was growing up. So anyway, what Kennedy said in the speech, this is less than 6 months before his assassination. So let us not be blind to our differences, but also let us direct attention to our common interests and to the means by which those differences can be resolved. And if we cannot end now our differences, at least we can help make the world safe for diversity. For in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet. We all breathe the same air. We all cherish our children's future, and we are all mortal. So I think a good way to end this segment of the broadcast. I just always, I quote that very frequently. When we think about things in that way, um, I think it helps us all get along better. So anyway, now we got the teams back here on the field with 107 to go in the halftime. Plainfield leading by a score of, I'm sorry, Decatur Central. Decatur Central leading by a score of 18-0 over Plainfield. And man, so halftime, no score between Madison and North Harrison. My Cubs, my alma mater, trying to get their first ever sectional championship. Under a minute to go between East Central and Franklin. There's still no score in that game. So, okay, East Central is in St. Leon, Indiana, wherever the heck that is. It's amazing. I'm a 53-year-old lifelong Hoosier, and I still discover towns that I've never heard of in Indiana. It's crazy. It's a beautiful, beautiful state. I would never want to live anywhere else. I'm proud to be the only lifelong Hoosier in my family. I think this is where I'm supposed to be. Um, I get very emotional, when I hear the song "Back Home Again in Indiana." Speaking of the Cold War, my dad and my son and I recently went to see the movie Reagan, and that was really enjoyable for me because Reagan is the first president whose entire presidency I remember well. So, and I thought they did a great job in company. If you had to put his 8 years of as president into a 2 hour 20-minute movie, I think they did a great job encompassing and encompassing the presidency and really hitting on all the major points. And so many things I like about the movie. So I definitely recommend it, regardless of what you think of Reagan politically. It's a great historical movie. So now to start off the second half, the kick by Vogel is in the end zone for a touchback. So Plainfield, 24 minutes to make up 18 points. Will they do it? Well, Quakers, by the way, with the 2 interceptions on Polster tonight, have 15 touchdowns in 11 games. They've now more than doubled last year's total of 7. So first and 10 at the 20. Garber to the left. Ellis to the right. Wayrich and Starnes in the backfield. Sabank hands off to Starnes. And he gets up for about 4. Give him credit for 5, a little better than I thought. Let's just get a score here. If it takes several minutes, that's okay. We got to score, one score at a time. 11 for 76 by my count for Starnes. 11:34 to go now and counting here in the third quarter. 2 receivers to the left, 2 running backs now. Hand off to Starnes again, and he's got about 4. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down, so a very critical 3rd and 1 for Plainfield. 12 for 77. Come on, boys. So Starnes to the left, Ellis to the right. 1 running back. And now, he trips. So Starnes tripped. So he lost a yard, so it's going to be 4th and 2. Oh, God. I mean, I would be tempted to go for it here. Maybe they're going to. Maybe that they realize this is how desperate they are. Wow. So 1 receiver out to the right. Bunch formation. And now give it to Wayrich. No. It was Starnes, and they brought him down for a loss. I thought they'd given it to Wayrich. Oh, no. So now Decatur Central takes over in outstanding field position, 1st and 10 at the Plainfield 25. We got to get a stop here. I'd imagine Decatur Central would be very conservative. Just try to get the score, take that, a touchdown, and take that 4 possession lead, which is what it would be with a touchdown and any conversion point. 2 receivers to the left now. And 1 to the right, 1 running back. Hands off to Dodo. Already has 1 touchdown tonight, picks up about 5 or 6 there. Give him credit for 5. 8 for 82 and a touchdown for Napo Dodo. One of the few major seniors on this Decatur Central offense. Almost everybody else is a junior will be back. Very possibly the best 5A team in the state next year. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 10 at the Plainfield 24. Decatur Central trying to put this one away early in the second half. And now Dodo this time stopped just for about a 1-yard gain, so bringing up 3rd down. Obviously in the field goal range of Ashton Vogel. Give him credit for 1, 9 for 83, and a touchdown for Dodo. Should be playing college ball a year from now. A lot of these other Decatur Central guys should be playing college ball 2 years from now. 3rd and 4. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. I believe Dodo is still there at running back. Polston in shotgun. Takes snap. Hands off again. And this time he's got the first and about one more. So Dodo becoming the and he picks up 5 there. But yeah, my wife Sherry is of Indian descent, and she doesn't speak Hindi, but she does know a few Hindi words, including dodo. And she would always tell the kids when they were young that it was time to go dodo. So that's the only reason I know that word. Two receivers to the left, from the right. First is at the 14. Hand off again to Dodo, and this time he's hit, but then spins around, gets inside the 10. So 4 carries in a row for Dodo. Picks up 5 on that one, closing in on 100 yards. So 2 receivers now to the left, 1 to the right. 8:08 to go now. Takes the handoff, and this time Polston takes it in himself, and I think he's got the touchdown. He does. So Bo Polston 9 yards after faking the handoff to Dodo, taking it in himself, and 24-0 your score now with the conversion pending. Well, with the 7:57 to go in the first quarter, the Hawks scored on a 49-yard rush by Hicks. With 7:57 to go now in the third quarter, they scored a 9-yard rush by Polston. And now this extra point would be for a 4-possession game, and it is up, and it is good. So Plainfield all but out of it now, but trailing by 4 possessions with 7:57 to go here in the third quarter. It's just been, thorough domination. And we've intercepted Polston twice, by the way, but they've just completely taken us out of our game offensively. And we've had a couple of unforced errors. There's the fumble by Starnes, and then the slip by Starnes. Very uncharacteristic. I wonder if this field is slippery tonight. I don't think we had any rain at all today, but obviously not the way we want to end the season. Although, I will say if Decatur Central goes on to win the state championship, which I think they have a very good chance to do, I guess that will take away some of the disappointment of this loss. But I want us to go down swinging. Well, I do think we should still go for the win. But the thing is, now trailing by 4 possessions, we're going to have to just have very high urgency. We can't do a bunch of 4 or 5 yard gains, and we're going to have to get some major gains here. A little under 20 minutes to make up 25 points. The Quaker mascot still down there high-fiving fans. And it's fielded at the 1 on the kickoff up to the 10. And he switches directions, goes up to the 25. And now he knocked out a bouncer on the 25. Ethan Ellis, he was looking for something. I like that young man's spirit. He's going to be a great one for us. So Franklin Central, I'm sorry, Franklin and East Central are scoreless at halftime, as are Madison and North Harrison. So first and 10 at the 25 now. Handoff, and they're right on top of him. I believe that was Wayrich. Yeah, they've just had Wayrich's number all night. He's hardly gotten anything going at all. And I think now they give him the credit for -3. They're bringing up second and 13. I think we're going to have to start going to the air whether we like it or not. And down the stretch, Sabank did have some good moments through the air. It took him 8 games to get his first touchdown pass, but he ended up with 4 in the last 3 games before tonight. And now a handoff again. This time Starr's got some room, and he's got the first down and more, close to the 40. That was Wayrich, excuse me, Wayrich. I apologize. So Wayrich's first, big gain of the evening. Give him credit for 16 on that. Hopefully that'll get him in motion. We just got a little over a quarter and a half to make up 25 points. So now 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Sabanka in shotgun, and now fakes the handoff, and now he gets rid of it. Oh, it's nearly intercepted. Nearly intercepted. Fortunately, he dropped it. Only the 3rd pass of the game from Sabank, but you could see the urgency when he released the ball. The Quakers now 2nd and 10 at their own 38, trying to extend the season. Coach Brian Woodard was 1-6 in sectional 1-7, in sectional championship. 1-7 in sectional championship games, winning only his last one in his farewell season 2 years ago. So now a handoff there, and they're right on top of him. But he does stay on his feet. Maybe gets one. Nice effort by Wayrich, but it's going to be 3rd and long. Yeah, we're just going to have to start throwing downfield. I mean, Decatur Central, short gains at this point aren't going to do much for us, and they stop Wayrich for no gain. There's 3rd and 10 at their own 38, 6:10 to go, and counting. So now Garver out to the left, Ellis to the right. I believe Wayrich is still there running back. High snap, but he gets it. And now they're right, and they bring him down for a loss on the handoff. Weston Wayrich again. And now we've got looks like there's some tension there between some of the players. But yeah, we've for whatever reason, they're able to contain Wayrich far better than they're able to contain Starnes. I think we're going to have to make Starnes our go-to back, and we're going to have to start passing. I mean, Sabank has thrown only 3 passes all game with 1 completion for 4 yards. I mean, at this point, we got nothing to lose. Plainfield's going to be very good next year. I think we're going to be great next year. The problem is, so will Decatur Central, because they return about as much as we do. So the bottom line is we're going to have to just, we're going to be in the same section with Decatur Central again next year. So if we want a state championship, we're going to have to go through. We're going to have to go through them, and we're going to have to do everything we can during the off season to be better than them. And Coach Bless, needs to tell the kids in their post game, in his post game speech to them tonight. Next season starts right now. It's how hard the kids work between now and training camp next July or early August that's going to determine if they're going to be able to take that next step up this year. They've taken a lot of steps up this year, and I'm darn proud of them, but they still have more steps to take up, as we're finding out tonight. So now a punt, fielded around the 33, brought it up to about the 40, 45, 50. He's got some room on the right side, knocked out of bounds close to the Quaker 45 with 4:55 to go. There is a flag. But yeah, I think we're just going to have to go to the air. Um, I'm surprised we didn't on that last play. There is a flag here. Let's see what it's all about. Man, I just want to say one thing. I know that you probably heard the tension in my voice here, but it doesn't change my love for these kids and for this community and this team. Um, you know, when you love somebody, you go through the highs and the lows with them, And yes, I'm disappointed. Not only that we're losing, but that we're not even being very competitive. But, if we, you know, um, take the pain of this loss and just use that as motivation just to work, as hard as we can every day between now and next season, we can, improve enough that we can beat these guys next season. So now Decatur Central starting the drive, first and 10 at their own 39. And now fakes the handoff. Polston takes it, and he gets close to the first down. If he doesn't actually have it, he might actually have it. He might, if he's short, it's just by a yard or so. So they give him credit for 8 there. His last rush was a 9-yard touchdown. A very conservative game by Bo Polston. He's completed 6 of 14 passes, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But Plainfield failed to capitalize on either touchdown. Dodo now gains about 10 there, so he's got the first down and more. 10 yards there by Dodo, putting him over the century mark. I have him 12 for 103 and 1 touchdown. And now we've got a flag here before the play. Warren Central leading Perry Meridian 41-0 at the half, so the Falcons season will apparently end tonight. Nevertheless, 5-6, their best record in 9 years. Martinsville's getting all they can handle from Greenwood. The Artesians heavily favored, but they lead only 21-14 in the third quarter. Nevertheless, that game guarantees there will be a sectional champion in the Mid-State Conference, as does this one. And now Dodo there with another rush. He's become the go-to guy here in the second half. He's got the first down. 8 there for Dodo. Well. First and 10 at the 30, 3:07 to go in the third quarter. Decatur Central closing in. Polston. Complete pass. Carter, the receiver, gets about 6 or 7. Polston had 376 yards against us in his regular season game as a freshman 2 years ago, but very modest statistics against us tonight. Second and 4 at the 24 for Decatur Central. Now 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Dodo, the running back, Polston in shotgun, takes a snap, hands off to Dodo, and he's got inside the 20. He's got the first down. Well, another 6 yards by Dodo. So two receivers to the right, one to the left. Dodo, the running back. Polston in shotgun. 2:42 to go now. And now, this time we stopped him for a little gain. By the way, Dodo's first name Napo is spelled N apostrophe P-O. No gain there, by the way. Second and 10 at the Plainfield 18. 2:20 to go now in the third quarter. So two receivers now to the right. Nobody to the left. Dodo's still in there. And even 2 minutes to go now. Second and 10. And it gives it to Dodo again. He plows his way up the middle. He gets about 6 or so, bringing up third and about 4 or 5. Give him 6 on that one, yeah. 16 for 123 now. Third and 4 now at the 12. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Dodo's still in there. Holston takes it, gives it to Dodo. No, and he fakes it, throws it to the end zone, and he's got the touchdown. That was Bryson Bonowit. Bryson Bonowit there on a 12-yard pass from Bo Polston, giving him his first touchdown pass of the game. And the extra point by Vogel up and good, and that makes it 32-0 with 1:15 to go. So Plainfield needs 4 touchdowns and 4 successful 2-point conversions. They have 13 minutes and 15 seconds to do it. I saw Drew White, number 36 for Plainfield. Looks like he's really upset right now. He's a junior. Hopefully he'll keep that chip on his shoulder through the whole off season as he remembers, the way the season ended, the way such a glorious season ended, with such a bitter defeat. Well, all I can say is, hopefully a year from now, we'll look back at this as the game that, motivated us to just work super hard every day and, go to the next level. We're at a very high level now, 9-1, ranked number 5 in the state in all 3 polls. Decatur Central ranked number 4. We're a great team. It's been a season of so many great accomplishments, but this is a bad ending to it. And now we just got to, and now the touchback on the kickoff, we've got to take, the bitterness of this loss and turn it into a lot of hard work that's going to pay off with an even better 2025 season. 2024 has been great. 2025 can be better. Whether it will be or not, it depends. It depends entirely on how hard these kids work. I think they're going to work hard because they sure got a lot better from last year to this year, even though they had a lot of, heavy losses from last year. They're going to have far fewer big losses this year. So now, handoff there to start the next Starnes there. And again, I don't understand why we're not going to the air more. I mean, especially that, we might as well start getting accustomed to passing more, because I think one thing that this game proves tonight, we're going to need a better passing offense if we're going to win a state championship next year or even make a run at it. Because we're running into a team tonight that's containing us on the ground. So, and now Sabank passes, and it's complete. That's to Wayrich there. Only the fourth pass of the game. Only gets 2 yards for it. So 20 seconds now left in the half. In the third quarter. Excuse me. 3rd and 7. And the Quakers, it looks like they're going to let the clock run out. 8 seconds left. They're still not in formation. So your Plainfield Quakers, 12 minutes left apparently until the end of the season. They trail the Decatur Central Hawks 32-0 here in the sectional championship game. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football and audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to thank them, and we hope you will support them. They are Remax Centerstone Julia Berberich, Ganell Financial, Crone Family Construction, my IT&D Ryan Grimes, I-70 Record Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crest Point Real Estate, Chris Pearson Selwith Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellison Associates. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Plainfield, we're about to start the fourth quarter here in the sectional championship game with your Plainfield Quakers trailing the Decatur Central Hawks by a score of 32-0. Plainfield has the ball 3rd and 7 at their own 23. Decatur Central's just played the game they wanted to play, and that's made the difference tonight. They've taken us out of our game. So one receiver at each side, Hendry and now Wayrich on the carry, gets about 4 or so, but it's going to be far short of the first down. Wayrich, sadly, only gets 4 there. He's been contained here in what will apparently be his last high school game. And I'm really surprised that Coach Bless is not using this time to start just seeing what the passing offense can do under, situations where they're playing far from behind. But anyway, it's a bad punt, and it goes out of bounds around the 42 or 43. So it's going to be only a punt of about 16 or 17 yards there. All right. Well, a little good news for me in the third quarter. Madison has taken a 7-0 lead in the and under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Cubs, my alma mater, going for their first ever state championship, sectional championship. Excuse me, sectional championship. Still no score under 8 minutes to go. With Franklin versus East Central, the winner of that game will play the winner of this game here. So now Decatur Central and that was a rush of about 7 yards there. So it looks like the Decatur Central now is using their second unit here. I did not catch who that was in that last rushing play. And now, but he goes to inside up to about the 20 now. So the Hawks now have it at the 20, and if they get any score on this drive, touchdown or field goal, it will be it'll be a running clock the rest of the way, like we did to Anderson last week. And now this Running. Looks like they're okay. I guess that's Jalen Leith there for Decatur Central, number 23. It's hard to see his number. These are not. This is not a commentary friendly color scheme for the for the they have. This is not a commentary friendly color scheme for the Hawks. They have white jerseys and yellow numbers, so it's very hard to decipher the numbers sometimes. So 2nd and 5 at the, and now we got a flag here with 9:14 to go. And I would imagine that Decatur Central, now they take a timeout. I think they want to get the running clock here just to get out of here and not risk any injuries. So, wow, very disappointing. Very disappointing way to end a banner season. And if I sound like I'm kind of dazed, you know, that's because I am. But I love these kids. I'm a Quaker for life, and so I'm just really thankful that I'm just thankful for all the opportunities to commentate them. I hope I'll be back doing it again next year and for many more years. And as long as you all keep inviting me back, I will be back. I feel honored to be part of this community, and I didn't go to Plainfield, but I feel like I did because I've done so many of your games now and just come to be such a big fan of this team. So, anyway, and now this time, and they nail him at the line, but he then goes around and he's hit hard, and he's I that might have been an illegal hit. He was hit at the 15, then he turned around and was he was hammered. Leith, a little guy at 5'7", 5'7", 150. So I was really hoping we'd avoid the running clock, especially because I'd like to get us a couple of more possessions to finish the season on the positive note, and especially try some passing plays. But oh, it was against Decatur Central. Okay, 8:54 to go here in the game. Decatur Central 32, Plainfield 0. So Plainfield goes 9-0 against everybody else, but 0-2 against Decatur Central. And now East Central has opened up a 7-0 lead over Franklin. So 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 2nd and 15 at the 25. Now high snap. They give it to Leith again. He's just showing a lot of speed. He goes around the right side, and we got a flag here. And he is knocked out of bounds after around 7 or 8 yards. But let's see what the flag is. Holding against the Hawks. So this backs it up, and now this is increasing the chance that Decatur Central will not score in this play, and that Plainfield will avoid the running clock, and they'll get some full possessions to finish out this game. So now the ball backed all the way up to the 30. So 2nd and 25 at the 35 now. So come on, boys, let's finish this on a positive excuse. No, let's finish this on a positive note. On a positive note, no excuse for not getting them off the field here. Play with some red pride to finish off the season. Let's get a score or two. So Decatur Central with their second unit in, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Leith, the running back, he's had some good moments here. And now he trips though, and only gets about 2. So that's going to be about as a third and about 20 some. So I have Leith 4 for 30. So this would be a 50-yard field goal by Vogel. We'll see what. Of course, they could gain a few yards here on third down. So two receivers to the right, one to the left. And now handoff there, and he gets about 5 or 6, so it's going to be fourth and long. Give him 6 on that one. So now this would be, if they go for a field goal here, it will be a 44. Yeah, they're going for the field goal. This would be to put it into a running clock, making it 35-0. Well, that'd be a humiliating way to end the season, but the kick is up, and it's good. Vogel's second field goal of the game. You know, I don't know. I'm having a hard time getting up with the words. I remember last year at Whiteland, a game I thought we were going to win. That was the game where they got the 2 successful onside kicks against us, one to start the game, one in the third quarter. And then when we were about to make it close in the second half, we lost a fumble at the Whiteland one. We were about to score a touchdown. And then, I always vowed never to use profanity on the air. And I didn't remember saying this until I recently re-listened to that game. And then I just said, gosh, freaking darn it. I mean, that was the exact words that I said. And I laughed, listening to it about a year later. But yeah, this is one of those games. So let's just finish strong, boys. Finish the game strong. We can learn from this. We can get better from this. Now field at the 3, brought to the 10, 15, 20, 25. It's got a hold 30, 35. We got a flag 40, 45. He bounces around, and now brought down around the Plainfield 45. And now we've got looks like there was a tense moment there between a Plainfield player and a Decatur Central player, but the Plainfield player was Gavin Likens, the backup quarterback. He walked away from it wisely. Let's see what the flag is now. I hate that we're at a running clock, but a personal foul, face mask against Decatur Central, so we got 53 yards. Let's get some points. So we were starting this drive in, Decatur Central territory. Could be the last possession of the season. Yeah, 1st and 10 at the Decatur Central 40. Plainfield tried to end the season on a positive note. Garver and Ellis out to the right, one running back. Sabank in shotgun, takes it, and handoff, and he's gets up for about 6 there. That was Wayrich. So I think they want Wayrich here in his final high school game to finish on a positive note. He's almost the only major offensive player who will not be back next year. He'll move on to play college ball. Only 2 touchdowns last year, 18 this year. So same formation here. Wayrich again, but this time they're right all over him and they bring him down for a loss. Oh no! So it's going to be another dreaded 3rd and long. So I got to give Decatur Central credit for still playing hard at this point in the game. Hopefully we'll get Wayrich at least one more touchdown. Hopefully somebody will get a touchdown because I don't want to end the season with a shutout. Give him -3 on that one. Come on, boys. We can finish strong. 3rd and 7 at the 37. And now screen pass is caught there. And he moves up. He might have the first down. It was completed to Mason Monday, who is a senior. So Monday getting a reception here in his final high school game. I think he's got the first down. Yes, he does. So glad to see Monday getting and now handoff again to Wayrich, and they, for whatever reason, they've just had Wayrich's number all night long. Poor kid, but I mean, it doesn't change the brilliant career that he's had for us, especially the outstanding senior season where he really just absolutely exploded. So now, Mason Monday and Grant Short out to the left. Sabank in there at shotgun and shotgun. Gives it to Wayrich again. He's got room on the left side. Then drives forward. He gets about 3 or 4. I think they're determined to get something, to get a good gain from him. 3rd and 6 now at the 26. Come on, boys. Hand off to Wayrich. He does have the first down inside the 20, inside the 10, and he's close to the 5. So Wayrich with his best carry of the evening. They're trying to get him a send-off touchdown here. Hopefully they will. 16. He picks up 16 there. 1st and goal for the Quakers at the 6, and I believe Plainfield has just taken its first time out. No, Decatur Central just took its first time. Well, they took their last time out. So anyway, well, let me catch my breath now and just give you an update. Plainfield's about to end one of the best seasons in school history with a very bitter loss. With 2:18 to go in the game, playing under a running clock, they trail the Decatur Central Hawks 35-0. However, the Quakers are trying to finish the game on a positive note and avoid the shutout. There you have it, 1st and goal at the Decatur Central 6. I think they're trying to get Weston Wayrich, the only senior star on the offense. I think they're trying to get him a send-off touchdown, which would be his 19th on the season, tying Starnes for the team lead. So now handoff there, and now screen pass. And I believe that was Hendry, and he's got a touchdown. Brandon Hendry. So they're trying to, Hendry also a senior, so he ends his career with a positive note. So that doesn't, however, change the running clock, even though now the lead is less than even though the lead is now less than 35. Wish it did, but anyway, nevertheless, Bryce Sabank. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Plainfield's. I didn't catch what the person did, but anyway, it doesn't matter much now. Anyway, extra point now. Leo Hayob, his only extra point attempt of the game, the last of his career, is up and good. So he finishes his career on a positive note. And so Hendry ends. So no touch. He has no touchdowns, no touchdown passes through his first 7 games, but he does have 5 through his last 4. So that's something to that's a positive note on which to end the season for him. Not a lot of positives in this game, but I'm glad we avoided the shutout. So East Central now has now has a 14-0 lead over Franklin, and North Harrison has now taken an 8-0 lead over my alma mater, Madison. Um, in the last minute of the third quarter of that one. Hopefully, my Cubs will come back and get their first sectional championship. But anyway, so because of the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, Plainfield will kick off from their own 25, and now the clock is stopped at 1:10. So hopefully, we'll go for an onside kick here, get at least one more score. But it's a squib, and and it's just the Hawks run it out of bounds. So Decatur Central will win only the fourth sectional championship in school history, although the third in the last 7 years. And keep in mind, the last two times they won the sectional, 2018 and 2023, they did go all the way to the state championship game, losing both times. In 2018, they lost 28-14 to New Palestine, and then last year 33-6 they lost to Fort Wayne Snyder. So running clock, the Hawks will only have to run one play. I guess they might just kneel out the clock. I guess the officials are going to let them not do it though. So, great season for Plainfield. Has a very sad end though. Still a lot of groundwork was laid for a lot of great seasons ahead. And your final score here tonight at Red Pride Stadium: Decatur Central 35, Plainfield 7. And we'll be back with a recap and a preview to next season after these final words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to recognize them and we hope you will support them. They are Remax Centerstone, Julia Berberich, Ganell Financial, Crone Family Construction, by IT&D Ryan Grimes, I-70 Record Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crest Point Real Estate, Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones Stewart Home Group, Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellis and Associates. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Plainfield for a final time tonight, and unfortunately, a final time this season where your Plainfield Quakers have been eliminated from the tournament here in the sectional championship game, losing to the arch rival Decatur Central Hawks by a score of 35-7. It's a game in which Decatur Central simply dominated from the start, took Plainfield out of their game, never let them in it, and just generally played like a team that's on a mission to win a state championship, which I think there's a very good chance they will. Decatur Central got the ball first, and in only 5 plays scored on a 33-yard touchdown rush from Napo Dodo with 9:27 to go in the quarter, making the score 7-0. Then on Plainfield's ensuing possession, Luke Starnes rushed 27 yards on the first play of the drive, but fumbled. And then with 7:57 to go, Decatur Central scored its second touchdown in 90 seconds on a 49-yard touchdown rush by Kashmir Hicks. And then Bo Polston, the quarterback, passed to Hicks for a successful 2-point conversion, making it 15-0. Meanwhile, Plainfield got very little going on offense the rest of the half. Their passing offense was almost non-existent. The rushing offense was contained, especially Weston Wayrich. Then with 11:11 to go in the second quarter, Ashton Vogel hit a 38-yard field goal, making it 18-0. And neither team scored the remainder of the half. After Plainfield failed to score on their first possession of the third quarter. Then Bo Polston rushed 9 yards for a touchdown with 7:57 to go in the third quarter. And the extra point made it 25-0, thus giving the Hawks a 25-point lead. And then the Hawks, after that, just a second, let me pick up my notes here. And then Decatur Central finally got its first touchdown pass of the game on a 12-yard pass. Decatur Central got its first passing touchdown of the game in the fourth quarter on a 12-yard pass from Bo Polston to Bryson Bonowit, and that the extra point by Vogel made it 32-0. So once again, that was Bo Polston passed 12 yards to Bryson Bonowit. And then finally, with 7:20 to go in the fourth quarter, Ashton Vogel hit his second field goal of the game from 44 yards, and that made it 35-0. And the 35-point lead put the game into a running clock. And finally, in the last 2 minutes, Bryce Sabank threw 6 yards to senior Brandon Hendry. So he finished off his career on a positive note with a touchdown. And then Leo Hayob finished the game. Another senior finished his career on a positive note with an extra point, bringing us to our final score of 35-7. A look at the individual statistics, first of all, for Plainfield. Bryce Sabank completed 5 of 7 passes for 17 yards, 1 touchdown and no interceptions. 5 different players had 1 reception apiece. Brandon Hendry had 1 for 6 and a touchdown. Mason Monday 1 for 7. Grant Short 1 for 4. Luke Starnes 1 for 4, and Weston Wayrich 1 for 2. Meanwhile, on the ground, Luke Starnes had 15 rushes for 74 yards. Weston Wayrich 15 for 50, and Bryce Sabank 5 for 14. Meanwhile, for Decatur Central, Bo Polston, not a very impressive game statistically, though he did effectively managed the offense effectively. He completed 8 of 15 passes for 76 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions, though both interceptions ended up being harmless. One was, one basically had the effect of a long punt, and it was intercepted near the end zone, and the other was near the end of the first half. Nevertheless, that did give Plainfield 15 interceptions on the season, up from 7 last year. On receiving, Pharrell Carter had 4 receptions for 43 yards. Carson Ison 2 for 17. Napo Dodo 1 for 2, and Bryson Bonowit 1 for 12 and a touchdown. Meanwhile, on the ground, Napo Dodo had 16 rushes for 123 yards and a touchdown. Pharrell Hicks 6 for 68 and a touchdown. Bo Polston 6 for 26 and a touchdown. Jalen Leith, a reserve who played in the fourth quarter, 5 for 36. Pharrell Carter 2 for 4, and Michael Campbell 1 for 1. So in conclusion, this is a game in which Plainfield really they were just taken out of their game early. It was psychologically bad the way that Decatur Central scored easily on their first possession. And I think had Plainfield scored on their ensuing possession to make it 7-7, they might have had a fighting chance. But when Luke Starnes was running, you could tell that he was he was like a maniac out there. It's like he knew what we were up against. We knew we needed a stellar performance to win. And maybe he was so overly zealous that, he tried to gain a few extra yards, and that could have been what caused the fumble. I'm not putting him down in any way. He gave a very courageous performance against a team that's got a good shot to win the state championship. But it was a momentum shattering play when he fumbled and they scored very quickly. So what was going to be 7-7 became 14-0. Just like go back in the 2019 playoff game when when we're down to Decatur Central 7-0. Jarrett Stephen takes the ball 67 yards to the Decatur Central 3, and then later on that drive when we're about to score a touchdown, we lose the fumble, and one of the Tracy kids, I don't remember which one because there were so many, picks it up and takes it all the way for the touchdown. And again, the common thread of the two games, it was going to be 7-7, and all of a sudden we're down 14-0, and that just sets the tone for the rest of the game. Um, and you just can't get away with that most of the time with a team of the magnitude of Decatur Central. So anyway, still a great season. When we didn't play Decatur Central, we went 9-0. But if you want to be a champion, you got to beat the best. We weren't the best this year. We were one of the best, but we weren't the best. So now what we have to do over these next 9 months until the next season starts is figure out how we can become the best. Bryce Sabank, our starting quarterback, a sophomore, he's going to be back. He barely threw it all the first few games. Then the last few games, he started to do more. He scored. He had no touchdown passes through 7 games. Then he had 4. He had 5 over the last 4. That's progress. His two main receivers were Ethan Ellis, a sophomore, a very explosive player. Also had a couple of big rushing touchdowns and a big kickoff return, nearly for a touchdown, um, a couple of weeks ago. And I believe back in the Martinsville game, and explosive speed. He's a sophomore. We got him back for 2 more years. He and Sabank are going to grow together. Ryan Garver finally got his first touchdown of the season last week in the win over Anderson. He's a junior. He'll be back another year. He was our number 2 receiver. So that nucleus of those 3, along with then Mason Monday. Um, well, Monday's a senior, but those 2 are going to be back next year, and then also Mason Beers, junior, he's going to be back next year. He had some good moments as our 3rd receiver. So that nucleus there for passing offense, we've got Sabank. He'll be back. He and Ellis will be back for 2 more years. Garver and Beers for 1 more year. So that quartet should do a lot of good things next year, especially if they work hard and build some chemistry together during the off season. Then on running back, obviously we're in great shape with Luke Starnes. He rushed over 1,500 yards and 19 touchdowns this year. He's going to be back for what should be a stellar senior season and make a run at a Division I scholarship. Certainly, he'll be playing collegiately somewhere in 2 years. But next year, he could get himself with a really with a banner senior season. He could get himself with a Division I school. Now, the big loss we have on offense is going to be with Weston Wayridge. He was a great number 2 back, got nearly 1,000 yards this year. After a relatively unheralded career prior to this, he did have 2 touchdowns as a backup last year. This year, he exploded for 18, including 3 in the playoff win against Anderson last week. He's going to be gone, probably moving on to college ball. The big question is, what are we going to have? Who's going to come in and become the number 2 back next year? Because Starnes is, he's a great player, but he's going to be much more effective if we have another good back, a running back with him in the backfield. Possibly Corin McGill, who got the 33-yarder last week against Anderson in his only play of the game. He's a junior, so he'll be a senior next year. So that would be, certainly he would be a good candidate. So, we bring all those guys back. We are going to have some offensive line losses, but with what we have returning we have enough good linemen returning, enough experienced linemen returning, and so and then we've got a defense that had 15 interceptions this year, including with Ty White, a freshman who had 3. So we've got a lot of young guys to build around on defense. And one thing that we did see tonight, we we see that we have a lot of room to improve on rushing defense. And anyway, we're looking out at the field right now. We're seeing, players share a lot of hugs with each other, with families. It's been a great season. Sorry to end it this way, but like I said, we're going to really what we need to work on. The two biggest things we need to work on between now and then, rushing defense and passing offense. Um, we didn't contain Decatur Central real well tonight. But that I think ending the season this way, it's a motivation to work on the things that torched us in this game. And obviously, the thing is, we don't have to be a team that throws 30 times a game, but if we can start throwing 15, 16, 17, 18 times a game and, have a couple of guys, a couple of wide receivers who are a threat to score, then that's going to stop defenses from clamping down on our rushing attack with Starnes um, and possibly McGill or whoever the number 2 back is next year. So um, and our passing offense is pretty good. I mean, we contained Polston tonight, and we had a couple of first straight quarterbacks who we played this year: Brady Wilson with Terre Haute South, and then AJ Reynolds with Martinsville, and you know they put up big numbers against us. But the thing is, they did so because they were playing from behind and having to throw a lot more than you would want your team to throw. When you have to throw a lot, it usually means that you're behind. So we put those guys in a position where we just had to take away the big play, and they compiled yards, but we still ended up winning the game. So if we get our rushing defense a couple of notches up and our passing offense a couple of notches up, and if we just work our butts off every day, and get the kids in the weight room, get them running up the stairs, and you know doing all the drills, practicing together, building the chemistry. We've got to look at who Decatur Central has coming back next year, because they're in our sectional. We're going to play them, the regular season. We're going to have to go through them if we're going to advance in the tournament, win the sectional, and have a chance to win the state championship. So, you know, we've got what we have to do is, I remember Mike Webster, the Hall of Fame center for the Pittsburgh Steelers of their 70 Super Bowl teams. He said, basically, I'm not that talented, so my only chance to succeed is to be in better shape than the next guy. We have to be the team that works the hardest. If Decatur Central is out there, you know, um, lifting, 250 pounds, we got to lift 300. We just have to go out there and go the extra mile and figure how much we want to do this, and how much we want the state championship, and just work hard enough that we can be better than them, or at least when we play them, figure out a way to beat them. Even if it's by outsmarting them. So keep in mind, after we won those 2 games against Decatur Central in 2022, the regular season game and the sectional championship, snapping a 13-game losing streak to them. Now all of a sudden they got a 3-game losing streak against us again, and I sure as heck don't want that to turn into another 13-game winning streak. So anyway, if we improve all those things, and keep we just keep working hard every day and practicing together, building chemistry, having the right attitude, we can be the best team in 5A next year, and we can be the best team in Plainfield history, and we can be better than Decatur Central. It's not a guarantee, but it's a possibility. And if we do everything we need to do and fall short, so be it. I'll never complain when we lose if we play the best we can. The only time I ever complain about a loss is when we lose for the wrong reasons. Um, Today, the effort was there, but we were just thoroughly out executed, and we just have to remember that and make sure it doesn't happen next year. We learned a lot from the way the season ended very painfully last year with those 3 consecutive losses to Whiteland, Martinsville and Harrison, we came back and we avoided making a lot of those mistakes again, and we ended up having a lot of really stellar wins this year. So now we just have to learn from this and respond to it the same way that we responded to the last three losses last year. So we do that, we're going to go a long way. It doesn't guarantee that we're going to win the state championship. It doesn't guarantee we're going to get by Decatur Central. But I think that if we get a shot at Decatur Central next year in the playoffs, win or lose, we're going to play them, a lot closer. And that, when we walk out of the game, hopefully in victory, but even if it's in defeat, we'll walk out with our heads high, knowing that we did the absolute best we could and that we did everything we could to slay the demon of this loss. So, once again, your final score here tonight in Red Pride Stadium in Plainfield. Your Plainfield Quakers lose to the Decatur Central Hawks by a score of 35-7. The Quakers end the season at 9-2. They're winning a season in 15 years. Meanwhile, the Hawks improve to 8-2 and win the fourth sectional in school history and the third in the last 7 years. And they will advance to the regional next week to play the winner between Franklin and Decatur Central. Well, this concludes our broadcast. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I cordially invite you to do so again next August 22nd as we kick off another exciting season of Plainfield Quakers football. And have a great off season, and look forward to seeing you again in 9 months. And until then, this is Lex Zorn reminding you there is a difference only you can make.